So let's start with it. To give a brief introduction as who am I? My name is Vikash Rao. I'm a Maharashtrian by birth, by culture, but lived most part of my life, my career in different parts of India, say it in Gujarat or Rajasthan or wherever the border states are there. I was into kind of money laundering, DRA, Department of Intelligence. Then I was in Enforcement Directorate. Then I was in CBI as well for 4 years with the money laundering part. I was helping the CBI people with the money laundering. That is what you call Hawala operations, especially with the Dawood gang. Fine. Let's come to the story. Now I am a 96 batch of IRS officer. I served in Government of India for more than 25 years. Then I retired. And I've been teaching since long. And actively I've been teaching after my retirement. So I teach, because my days we had economics and we had 2 options. So my options were economics and geography. So today in Triumph IAS, I will take up economy as for UPSC is concerned. How we should approach UPSC with economy. Right. When it is said that economy, there are 2 different meanings to it. Generally, we all studied economics to some extent. So, for example, we discussed demand, supply, elasticity, then equilibrium, then the price, commodities, cost. So all these terms, we have been following it. But when it comes to UPSC, there's slight change between these 2. ये दोनों के अंतर की काफी अंतर होती है दोनों के बीच में. एक तो डिमांड है, ये तो मांग है. हम सभी मांग करते रहते हैं कि भाई देखो सुबह उठते ही नाश्ता चाहिए, कप चाय चाहिए, नहाने के लिए पानी चाहिए, साबुन चाहिए, शैम्पू चाहिए, या अभी इंटरनेट चाहिए, मुझे एक पेन चाहिए, नोटबुक चाहिए. तो हमारी मांग अलग अलग होते हैं. We all have different demands to survive in a society, to live a comfortable life. I need a room, I need a bed, I need privacy. So there are a lot of things. We are not animals. So we need a lot of factors which we create demand for. So demand is one thing that's always there. So let's go on demand for a while with the productivity part. Because when I have a demand, someone has to give it to me. It's not humanly possible that we produce all those things that we need it. हमें जिसकी आवश्यकता होती है वो सब हम उत्पादन नहीं कर सकते हैं. काफी साबुन है, फॉर एग्जांपल मैं साबुन नहीं बना सकता हूँ, मैं पढ़ा सकता हूँ. मुझे लिखने के लिए पेन चाहिए लेकिन मैं पेन नहीं बना सकता हूँ. या मुझे कागज चाहिए, मुझे कागज. आई कैन मेक अ पेपर ऑफ माई ओन. ना ही मैं आई कैन मेक फूड, आई कैन कुक फूड. मैं रोटी सेक सकता हूँ लेकिन रोटी बना सकता हूँ, लेकिन आई कैन मेक the wheat. So here there are different ways. Ms. Meenakshi, are you comfortable with Hindi or only English should do?
Little bit I can understand Hindi, sir, but not everything.
Don't worry about it. I'll stick to English.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Since I've been teaching a lot in Northern India, it's a bad habit I have. The Hindi will come, but anyway, I'll stick to English. That's not an issue.
Right. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
No problem. So English, that's where we communicate, and it should be comfortable. अगर आपको कोई लगता है कि भाई कि, if at all, my North Indian children, if they feel that I'm going a little overboard as far English is concerned, you can stop me. आप मुझे रोक सकते हैं, मैं उसमें I can translate that in Hindi and I can come back to it. Right. So coming to the story, there are a lot of demands we have, but we can't produce everything we need it. So what we do is, we are a consumer, we go to a shop to buy that. I need tea powder. So where in Hyderabad or where in Delhi can I produce tea powder? No, I can't. Either I have to go to Assam or I have to go to Nilgiris in Tamil Nadu, or I have to go to Darjeeling. So what I do, I go to nearby shop and ask the shopkeeper, So give me one packet of tea, okay, one packet of coffee, one milk packet, sugar and all. Then I bring all that, make a cup of tea or a coffee, I consume it, my demand is fulfilled. So we have a demand for it, that is production. Someone has to produce so that somebody distributes it. So I'm a consumer. So there are three stages in economics. One, production. Second, distribution. Third, consumption. Right. Now, these three aspects of economics deals with a larger picture called economy. In other words, economics is a science, a rational science, a social science, I can call it. When used it becomes economy. Clear? Economics is a subject. When you apply the subject in your day-to-day life, it's economy. One meaning of economy is the practical use of economics is economy. That is one part. Second, economy is the word meaning is economy is also similar, but we use for the place or a particular sector or a particular area. For example, village economy, rural economy, they have a different economy. They don't have buses, they don't have transport, they don't have supermarkets, they don't have hospitals. Unlike the urban areas have it. So urban economy. Similarly, near a school, in a school, there are different places. In school, we have a stationery shop, we have a bakery, we have all that nearby. So the school economy is different. So the college economy is different. Now, for example, your Mukherjee Nagar economy is different. We have PG hostel, then we have samose wale, chai wale, blah, blah, blah. There are different parts. Similarly, if you ask Miss Meenakshi, in Alpula, there is again a lot of tourist activity, backwaters, boats, then fishing. Fishing is an economy there. And
Yes,
the beach has a monazite sand, which is again a very good source for thorium. So it's a different economy. Delhi economy. So tourist place as an economy. Industrial economy. If you go to Faridabad, if you go to Gurgaon, it's a different economy. So every economy is a place. Rural, urban, town, school, university, hospital. So the economy is a particular place, we mention it. So if we have to approach the particular place, if we have to approach a country, for example, Indian economy we talk about. So the question comes, why should a civil servant know about an economy? Like, you understand polity, you understand articles. Article 14 to 18, we talk about right to equality, right to non-discrimination on the basis of a caste. All that, very good. Then we talk about Article 1, 2, 3, we talk about India, the Bharat. We are a federation of union. No. Then we talk about right to speech. Article 19, we talk about it. So everything we have, we know the constitution. Similarly, we all know the society, how it is made up of. Now you're all mostly sociology students, so you understand what society is made up of. What is the tribal area is made up of, what is the city is made up of, what is a gender bias we have. So you know all that. But why should you know economy? Why should a civil aspirant know all that about economy? For a simple reason that a human being is an economic being. Human being, for our survival, we have a lot of necessities. We have needs. So what we do to fulfill those needs, we create demand. For demand, the equal part should be a supply. Someone has to give it so that our demand is fulfilled. So we can be a consumer. When we feel hungry, so someone has to give us the food. Maybe roti, rice, curry, dal, sambar, to be it. So when you consume it, your demand is fulfilled. So the process where the three aspects of it, I repeat, supply, the production, distribution, and also third is consumption are the three main aspects of it. So today I'll be taking you to the journey. Misalka?
ना पूछी मैं तेन पूछता हुई थी दोबारा भेजो इस बात कर दिया है तो नौबड़ी आपका कहाँ है एक बात
Misal, how can I help you, beta? Misalka? Who is the host now? Am I the host?
Sir, you can speak now.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. So, I mean, there was some disturbance, so somebody was chatting. Fine, anyway. So, before I take you through the journey of economy and UPSC, like we all understand how polity is important for UPSC. When I was an aspirant, even I struggled with polity. Apart from Lakshmikant, there are many sources where you can understand the constitution and all that. So we have studied that, we have learned it. Similarly, economy is an indispensable part of UPSC preparation. So are other subjects. At no point of time am I trying to tell you that other subjects are not important, be it science and technology or environment ecology and all. But if there is one particular subject which is interlining with all other subjects, it is economy. We call it political economy because when you talk about constitution, we talk about Article 280, there is the Finance Commission. Then we talk about Article 265, taxes. Article 110, the Finance Bill. Article 112, the Annual Financial Statement. Article 114, and the Appropriation Bill. All these are part of the Constitution. We can't get away with it. Similarly, RBI Act. So we have to follow the Constitution as far as the money is concerned. So one aspect, polity. Sociology, society is a diverse, eclectic in nature. So there are rich and poor and every kind of a thing. Then with the vicious cycle of poverty, vicious cycle. गरीबी के दुष्चक्र से बाहर उभर के इनको निकलना है तो काफी कुछ होना पड़ता है. That is socially different with money. Environment ecology, we have a green GDP, we have a carbon footprint. Again, you can't avoid economy there. Then we have geography, the commercial geography, mines, quarrying, metals, minerals, rivers, ports. Again, a lot of economy is involved in geography as well. And also we know how southwest monsoon is such an important factor for Indian economy. For example, if we talk about El Nino affects or brings a drought. जब एल नीनो की बात होती है तो भारत में सूखा या अकाल पड़ जाती है. And what Miss Meenakshi would call kshamam in Malayalam. So there will be a drought, there will be hunger deaths. So a lot of factors of geography are involved with the economy. And of course, then science and technology, then they talk about every aspect of main subject we talk in UPSC is interlinked with economy. So today, I'll take you to the journey how to prepare for UPSC as far as economy is concerned. I'll do the hand holding exercise initially. Then I'll take you through different topics so it can help you with that. Can you please allow me to share, please? Alka, where are you from? Miss Alka?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, beta?
I'm from Haryana, sir.
Oh, Haryana. Kahan Haryana?
Mahendragarh, sir.
Mahendragarh.
Mahendragarh. Ji,
Ambala.
ji.
I was in Ambala in last almost December 15th, I was in Ambala.
Yes, sir.
Ambala Sector 8.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a good place. Sweta Bhati, are you from Punjab, beta? Miss Megha, where are you from?
Sir, I am from Greater Noida, UP.
You're from?
Sir, Greater Noida, UP.
Oh, Greater Noida, Gautam Buddha Nagar.
Yes, sir.
Durga Shakti Nagpal. Yeah. Miss Megha, where are you?
Sir, I am from Ghaziabad.
Ghaziabad. क्या बात है भाई?
Yes.
SK. SK का मतलब? I've been turned on, please. Please allow me to share. All right. When it turns on, I'll go. Today I'll do the hand holding exercise as for how to prepare for UPSC. The first thing is economic literacy and econometrics. Right. Economic literacy, in a very simple language, if you open the newspaper, there are many, many terms that economists use. For example, we talk about inflation, we talk about repo rate, we talk about GDP growth rate and all that, poverty, unemployment. See, for example, Pradhan Mantri on August 15th from ramparts of Red Fort, the Prime Minister declared that India is the third largest economy in the world. He said it. And we all clapped. Or Nirmala Sitharaman ji was giving a budget estimate, or Anant Nagarajan, they can give an economic survey. They say that, India is growing at 6.8% or 7.2% growth rate. भारत की आर्थिक वृद्धि दर 7.2% की दर्ज की जाती है. सुन के बड़ी प्रसन्न होती है यार, खुशी होती है हमें. We feel very happy that we are great man, we are going at a very great rate. To tell you truth, how many of Indians really understand the growth rate of economy? I will ask one of your classmates to answer the question. Before that is allowed, sharing is turned on? No, not turned on. Okay. We'll ask Ms. Rishika. Ms. Rishika, what did that mean by that IMF, World Bank, or Finance Minister, or Chief Economic Advisor, when they say that India is growing at 6.8 or 7.2 or 7%? What
Sir,
does
they are talking about the GDP growth rate, like the annual growth rate.
All right. Very good, beta. So what is GDP? How many people really understand GDP?
Sir, the production which takes place in an annual year in a particular amount of period in a geographical area, that is known as GDP.
Good, beta. Very good, very good, very good. So was that Mr. Narendra Modi, when talking about from Rajasthan, Red Fort is the third largest economy, was he talking about GDP or was it something else? What do you think? Because we are not third largest economy. Definitely, we are not third largest economy.
Sir, he might be talking about the nominal GDP growth in
No.
terms of.
Yeah, had it been nominal, it would have been much lesser, right? Because the real GDP talks about inflation rate. Adjust inflation in no. He was talking about purchasing power parity. He was mentioning GDP on a PPP basis, purchasing power parity. Now, even if I tell you, if I tell someone, common person, that purchasing power parity, I'm very sure 99% of Indians do not understand what is purchasing power parity. So this is what you call as economic literacy. So we all try to understand economics from our perspective. So one of your classmates was telling that the production power, that is national income. For example, India today consumed these milliliters of milk. Maybe today we consumed around 1 lakh tons of milk, or so much of atta, so much of potato, so much of onion, so much of tomato, so much of besan, and all that. So what is the income earned by the people by selling those many goods or earning so much of money is the national income. But GDP is different. GDP is a measurement for an economy. We don't take national income for that matter. So GDP is the sum total of all final goods in an economy. Within the geographical boundary of an economy during a given period of time. So what I said, some final means the price at which the consumer is paying to buy the goods. A farmer is producing wheat. So he's selling the wheat in the mandi, he's selling in the market, he makes money, but I don't consume wheat directly. So what I do, I buy, the wholesaler will buy the wheat, he'll give to trader, trader will give to stockist, stockist will give to retailer, the retailer will give it to me as a consumer. Then I can't eat wheat like that. So what I do, I'll take it to flour mill. I'll make it atta. Then atta comes home. Then जब रोटी सेक के खाऊंगा तब जाके मैं consumption करूंगा ही. So a lot of changes happen in the prices of it. The price I'm paying after I bring it from a flour mill is what I calculate GDP as. If you go further, if not, I did not buy it, but a baker bought the wheat. The baker would take it to flour mill, make it flour. From there, he'll make it bread. Then when the restaurant fellow purchased bread, he took it to that and made a sandwich. He took a bread, cut the crumbs of it, then he applied the green chutney, then butter, everything. Then he put cucumber, tomato, everything, and he put it in a sandwich and made it to me. When I consume the sandwich, I'm the consumer. The price I'm paying for that product is the GDP. This is what I call as econometric, economic literacy. So we have the PPT now. On your screen, you can see economy for UPSC. I've also added 2 questions of previous year questions on prelims that will solve it. For that, I'll give you a strategy for it. Now, how to solve PPT? How to solve the previous year questions, and how to solve the prelims questions in UPSC. Fine. So, आप यहाँ पर आइए. Right. So, the first step I would take is assess the potential impact of proposed policies on various sectors of the economy. Various sectors, are the primary sector. Primary sector is the manufacturing, the basic sector, like agriculture, mining, quarrying, forestry, everything. this sector is very, very important because this produces the raw material for us. The shirt I am wearing, a cotton shirt. Right. Now, the cotton shirt I did not get the shirt directly from a plant. So what I got a cotton. The farmer produced cotton. So the farmer gives away the cotton. So there is one person who does a ginning. Ginning is cleaning. He'll remove the seed, everything, the dirt, everything, and makes it into a thread. The thread is tied to the spindle. From the spindle is taken to the mill. There it is tied to it and made a cloth. Even then, it is not. Somebody purchased cloth. And I purchased the cloth and took it to my tailor. He measured my body and said, okay, sir, this is what it is. And he stitched it and cut it as a thread. And he put a shirt for me. He made a shirt for me. So today I wore this shirt. Okay. So in primary sector, we produce. In secondary sector, we distribute. Tertiary sector, or the manufacturing sector, and tertiary is where we produce services. For example, my tailor, my milk vendor, or my security guard in front of my house. So these are the people who do the service to us. So there are different sectors in economy. Different people give us different services to. So you have to assess the potential impact of proposed policies. Now, what is the proposed policy here? The government of India, through the Ministry of Finance and different ministries, will try to provide a lot of facilities, a lot of benefits to different policies. For example, we talk about agriculture sector, we talk about labor sector, we talk about Ministry of Family and Health, we talk about health sector. For example, during Corona, the Ministry of Health gave us a lot of vaccination for the people. So today we are healthy and hearty and we are back to work. Okay, then we need defense. So somebody is protecting us at the border. So there are teachers who are giving us knowledge. Then there is a policeman who is controlling the traffic and giving the law and order to us. Then there are the judiciary. There are people who are giving us law, justice, and all that. So there are scientists, ISRO, there are laboratories, there are pharmaceutical people, there are medical doctors. So there are a lot of people, different people. So for them, there are the policies that have been given to us. Now, why should a civil servant? Why not someone else? Why am I asking an aspirant like Meenakshi IAS, Nishita Dheeraj Kumar IPS, or Nishita Joshi IAS? Why am I telling these people to assess the potential impact of proposed policy? Now, why am I not giving this lecture to somebody else? Why am I talking to UPSC aspirant? I'll tell you. For a simple reason, beta. We are the people. Is someone answering the question? Fine. If possible, you mute your background score. So घर का जो आवाज है वो मुझे सुने नहीं आती. It's the only thing. If your background score is not able to me, not a class is not disturbed. Fine. Why a civil aspirant? Let me give a simple example of it. Little imaginary, but I'll tell you the truth. Imagine there is a public distribution scheme, ration shop polycall. Poor are being given a subsidy rice or subsidy wheat. 2 किलो रुपए में अनाज दिया जाती है सरकार इनको गरीब की रेखा poverty below poverty line people are getting 2 rupee kg rice or 2 rupee wheat and all. There's a big queue in front of the PDS shop. There is a lady with 2 children, 4-year-old and 5-year-old children. The 2 children are standing with her. For last 2 days, there is no rice in the family. Husband hasn't got income. He worked in a particular factory or somewhere. He didn't get his income yet. All right. So she's standing in the queue with the amount, whatever that is given to the family. Some 5 kgs per head. So 20 kgs into 2 rupees, 40 rupees. So with the 40 rupees, she's standing in the queue. So that if somebody gives the rice, she can go and cook and feed the children. अपने 2 बच्चों को खाना खिलाने की ये सोचकर ये खड़े हुए लाइन में. She's standing there in the queue. Now, who in this country can guarantee the food on her plate? Simple. Which professional?
Policies which the administration makes.
Wonderful. Miss Rishta, wonderful. Let me try it out. Can a journalist assure? No. Can a medical doctor? No. Chief Justice of India? Supreme Court lawyer? No. Chartered accountant? No. Politician? No. Who else? Who else? Only you. Let the DM Sahib or Sahiba, let's say Ms. Nishita IAS is the DM of the district magistrate of the particular district. She takes a car with the staff and goes and stands next to the shop and catches the dealer. How much of the stock has been delivered to you? How much have you supplied? Come on, give me the account. Come on, distribute every grain to every people now who are standing in the queue. Can you assure that, Miss Ishta?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Only she can do it. Only a civil servant can do it. No one else can do in this country. That's the power of a civil servant. Only a civil servant. All other people are important. I'm not denying that. Even for a moment, I'm not trying to say they are not important to me. But only a civil servant has an exclusive power to see that the people of the country live a dignified life. That's why I'm asking a civil aspirant to assess the potential impact of proposed policies on various sectors of the economy, like primary sector, secondary and industrial sector, manufacturing sector, educational sector, health sector, a lot of sectors, where the poorest of the poor, tribal people, rural people, the marginalized sections, or the most neglected section of the society, very unfortunate, but I tell you the truth, is the women in the country. No one really bothers about their welfare in the country. Very unfortunately, very, very unfortunate, even today, almost 80 years of independence, women are treated as objects in the country. The world over, it's not there. But in India, it's even more pathetic. So we have to take care of that particular sectors of the economy. Consider the implications of growth. So they should grow. Every sector should have growth. I mean, they have a requirement, they have their necessity for a part of the society. You can't take away from them the chance to grow, then bring out of the vicious cycle of poverty. So we have need a growth. Then we have employment. We have to provide an opportunity for them to live a dignified life. Every person has a right to live a life with a dignity. Only we can assure that. Every person in the society, irrespective of the caste, creed, region, religion, whatever that is, what all the differences we talk about. They should live a dignified life. Then inflation. Inflation in the simplest language, then general rise in the prices of the commodity, all the commodity, which as a consequence reduces the value of the money we hold. Generally, if I were to ask anyone what is inflation, then they'll say price rise is inflation. No. Price rise is inflation, all right. But it also has a consequence where the money we hold has a reduced value to. If my wife asks me to go and buy some sugar, let's say sugar, from a shop, I go and ask the shopkeeper, right, how much is sugar per kg? He says, sir, 40 rupees a kg. So I have 200 rupees. For 200, I get 5 kgs. For the next week, when I went there, I asked him, give me 5 kg sugar. Then he said, sir, it is 50 rupees a kg. So I'll get only 4 kgs for the same 200 rupees. So what happened? The value of the money we hold is reduced. Because the price rises, the value reduces. This is inflation. Now, common people like you and me may not get much of a difference if there is a slight change in the prices. But the poorest of the poor are worst affected during the inflation. Because there are a lot of kinds of inflation. You can see the case of Zimbabwe, Venezuela, and all that. So we say Zimbabwe, everybody is a billionaire because they have $1 billion currency. Because they are super hyperinflation. It's beyond control now. Even in India, there was a time in May 1974, 34.68%. May 1974 recorded 34.68% of inflation was recorded in this country. That means your 100 rupees was 65 rupees. Your 100 rupees value was only 65 rupees because inflation was 34 or 35% almost. But a pathetic situation. All the prices have gone up, so the poorest of the poor cannot eat anything. There will be hunger deaths. Right? And distribution. All right, inflation on an aspect, the distribution is how will you distribute these goods to these many people? Distribution of food, distribution of medicine, distribution of services, distribution of clothing, distribution of education, distribution of midday meal scheme. So how many schemes the government perceives? We have to distribute them according to the equitable proposition, not equally. Remember this. Distribution should happen equitable, not equal. Can I ask Ms. Sweta, beta? Difference between equal and equity. Equality and equity. Can you tell me the difference, beta?
Sir, equality is like when we distributed to everyone equal part, and equity is like according to necessity we are distributing.
Wow, that's a wonderful answer. Thank you, beta. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, whatever Ms. Sweta said, I'll put it in my own way. Very good, beta. I have 6 rotis with me. मेरे पास 6 रोटियां. I have 6 rotis with me. Right. I have Meenakshi, I have 𝐓𝐞𝐥𝐿, I have Sweta in front of me. The 3 children are sitting in front of me. Then I asked, according to the law of equality, what should I do? Meenakshi should get 2, 𝐓𝐞𝐥𝐿 should get 2, and Sweta should get 2. The law of equal. Everybody will get equal proportion. But no, I'll apply law of equity. What happened now? I'll ask Meenakshi. Miss Meenakshi, how hungry are you? So Meenakshi said, sir, I had a very heavy breakfast. At 11 o'clock break, I had a coffee and 1 samosa because my friends were having. I thought I'll also have it. Lunchtime, I'm not very hungry, but your sabji looks very tasty and very interesting. I'll have 1 roti. That's all. So I gave one roti and little paneer sabji to Miss Meenakshi. Fine. Then I asked Dheeraj, beta, kitni bhook hai? How hungry are you? Dheeraj says, sir, I had a normal breakfast. Break time, I go out. I'm normal hungry. So I gave 2 rotis to Dheeraj and 1 sabji. I don't know what are they. Then I asked Shweta, beta, Shweta, how hungry are you? So, sir, I didn't have my breakfast. I didn't go out in the break. I'm very hungry. Then I gave 3 rotis. So 1 plus 2 plus 3, based on the necessity or the requirement, the way I distribute is equitable. Very well done, beta. Shweta beta ji. Very well done. Keep it up. Keep it up, beta. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Hari beta. Kahan gaye aap? Yeah, you're in there in the class. Anyway, so that is equitable. So distribution, as a civil servant, you should be able to distribute it on an equitable proposition. For example, tribal people need more benefits, more infrastructure. When compared to urban area, the rural people need more infrastructure because they don't have hospitals, they don't have schools. In a city like Delhi, Gurgaon, Noida, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, there are a lot of big hospitals, big schools, very good roads. If somebody has a medical emergency, you can reach hospital in 5 minutes because the ambulance come and pick you up. The road is very good. But unlike the rural area or the tribal areas, there's no good road for them to reach. I have a rough estimate, close to around 23,000 women die reaching the hospital during the 3rd trimester. When they develop the labor pain, they have been taken to the nearest medical center, they give up. The trauma is so painful. A mother dies on the way to reach hospital because there are no good roads. So distribution has to happen on an equitable basis. That's one area we need to work on. So gather. I'll suggest like this, gather. Gather all the information. Gather all the data you need it. Process it, not just gathering it from the newspaper. Don't take repo rate or reverse repo or a CRR kind of a thing. No, I didn't ask you all that. You gather them, process it. Write them down, learn about it, and interpret what exactly it means. Economic data. Recently, last 2-3 days, we have been talking about a lot of information about popcorn, cannibalized popcorn. A lot of memes are going on about Nirmala Sitharaman ji when she said that popcorn will be taxed. Fine. How many of us really go to a multiplex and buy caramelized popcorn? I mean, those of you had it, I don't know. I never have popcorn, so first thing, I don't go to watch movies. Even if I go, I don't eat popcorn. So question is, beta, how much does it cost? Rishika, beta?
No idea, sir.
No idea. Fine. Ms. Meenakshi, approximately?
No idea, sir. I haven't eaten that.
Oh, me too. Good. That's the good quality of a civil aspirant. Don't waste your time when watching movies. Good. Even I don't know, honestly. I can't waste my time and money on a movie. I prefer a book to a movie. I think only rich people can purchase a caramelized popcorn because it's a sweeter version of it. Naturally, when the rich people buy it, you got to tax them. It's as simple as that, not on popcorn. Right? The question is how you interpret it. How you interpret the economic data. What is the GST charged and why it is being charged? How much GST collection that we are getting every month? 1.8 lakh crore rupees. There is a tax revenue we are getting. So make notes from this particular information. And this is an everyday exercise. It is GST, it can be talk about taxation, it can talk about strengthening of rupee, it can be weakening of rupee, India rupee reaching 85 rupees. Is dollar strengthening or India rupee weakening? What is it happening? Is it happening only with dollar or is it happening with any other currency? Do this interpretation. How are we faring with euro? How are we faring with Great Britain pound? How are you doing with Japanese yen? Write it down, learn, do the research. Then you understand why the economic data is such an important aspect for us. Then utilize statistical tools. Statistical tools, which I tell you, the Gini coefficients and all. Nevertheless, if you don't know now, when we meet in the classroom, I'll tell you how to make a statistical tools out of this. It may not be right place for me to online. It's not possible to explain to you the statistical tools like Gini coefficients and all that, Lorentz curve and Laffer's curve. A lot of curves we use in the graph model. Already you know many of them, but anyway, that's a part of it. So I'll tell you how to do the statistical interpretation. We can go with the logarithm method or we can go with the Gini coefficient. Gini coefficient, to put it simply, the cube root of it, we can take it. Yeah. So we can econometric is metric means measurement of economy. On what basis? For example, you can measure inflation, you can measure unemployment, you can measure population growth rate. Yeah, can you give me a crude population growth rate, Miss Dheeraj? No, Mr. Dheeraj? Can you give crude birth rate of India approximately? No? Yeah. 51 live children are born every minute in the country. 51 children. 51 children. हर मिनट 51 बच्चे पैदा होते हैं देश में. 51. काफी आश्चर्य होता है, लेकिन क्या करें, सच है. There is around 2.6 crores population being added to the country every year. How about the food? How about clothing? How about schools? How about necessary? How about health? How about hygiene? How about water? How will you provide all this to them? So you need to have the econometric methods. Anyway, in the physical class, your teacher should be able to help you without that. Yeah. And economic phenomena. What is the characteristics of economics, particularly economy that we are going through? Yeah. Predict potential outcome of policy change. When the government changes the policy, for example, it's going for expansionary or contractionary, or it can go for expansionary monetary policy when it changes the monetary policy committee, repo rate, reverse repo, or CRR, and all that, SLR. So when this happens, so what exactly is going to be the change it's going to bring in the country? This is widely tested in UPSC, especially in mains. In an economic development of India paper, a lot of these questions come. Sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly as well. Yeah. Prepare comprehensive reports and presentations that communicate complex economic concepts. Whenever you have time, I mean, you have to squeeze time. There's no way you can avoid it. So please make notes for yourselves and also for your classmates. Sit together, exchange notes. See, this is what I made. This is what I understand. This is what the news about it. So from there you can, for example, a purchase manager index or industrial production index or mining index. So you can track how much the coal price increasing. So you can take it. So core inflation you can take, or you can take a consumer price index or industrial workers index or agricultural labor index. A lot of econometrics where you can take it. And again, talk about literacy rate, you can talk about population growth rate. So here you can take and make comprehensive report about it. Then making this report helps you in writing answer. Now, why I'm asking to make reports? Because this report writing daily will help you write answers better. Unlike any other subject for UPSC, economy answers for UPSC have a lot of data driven and also the precise, to the point. You can't deviate from it. There's no need for interpretation. Unlike history and polity, there's no way you can interpret anything here. You have to give the fact. Now, I can't change the fact according to my convenience. The inflation rate is this, it has got to inflation that way. There's not, nobody can change the definition of it. दुनिया में कोई व्यक्ति या शक्ति नहीं है उसकी परिभाषा बदल सके भाई. सकल घरेलू उत्पादन सभी के लिए एक ही होती है. आपके लिए अलग है, मेरे लिए अलग नहीं हो सकती है ना. So you can't change that. So be specific. That helps you in writing this answers, better answers. Right? Yeah. Engage in a classroom discussion. This is one thing many students nowadays I observe across India. When I'm teaching across India, for the class that you leave, the faculty will be waiting there for some student to come and engage in a discussion, ask doubts, questions in today's sessions and all. How else can you improve? Sir, I wrote this essay yesterday. Can you please evaluate it? Tell me. I'll tell you, out of the 200, 250 students, hardly 3 to 4 come to me. Even today, I'm going on record. 3 to 4 students come to me. Sir, this is what I wrote. How does this look like? And all. Then I used to sit and then evaluate and tell them where the mistake is happening and all, where it could have been better. Please engage in a classroom discussion. When the class ends, okay, finish off your washroom kind of a thing. You want to have a cup of tea, please have a cup of tea and come back. But don't go home. Because the more you go to your room, the more comfort you are in. The more comfortable environment you are in, the more you want to relax. So, for a successful person, UPSC aspirant, stay away from the comfort as much as possible. Yeah. Now it's winter, it's very cold. You want to rajai pen ke yaar, oad ke yaar, baithna. Acha lagta hai, who doesn't want? But sit in the classroom. Call a couple of your friends, classmates, start a discussion there. Engage in a discussion. Workshop. Create a workshop for yourself. Make a small discussion there. Yeah, we can discuss the current affair topic of GST, which we can talk about petrol, why GST should dominate petrol prices. Or we can talk about agriculture, MSP. Now the Kharif crop has come, you can discuss on MSP. You can discuss CACP. We can discuss Swaminathan Commission, or we can talk about Manmohan Singh ji, yesterday, one of the greatest economists, a legend, passed away yesterday. You can discuss what are the contribution made by liberalization policy has made it. How today India is a better country, better economy. Before Manmohan Singh ji was the finance minister, what India was and what India is now. So you can discuss that. And public lectures to promote economic literacy. And wherever possible, use more economic terms. Learn more economic terminology. And gain and raise awareness about key economic issues. The more you discuss, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you write. The better your answering. I'll let you do one secret. If you see any civil aspirant who have been successful below 100 ranks, they're experts in economy as a subject. Without polity and economy, these two subjects, even gaining a mastery over these two, forget about your UPSC preparation. This I can tell you. Because as far as civil aspirant is concerned, we are a walking encyclopedia. We are a Wikipedia of constitution. There's no second thought about it. But many students have come across are ignoring economy. So please don't do that. I mean, it works reverse to you. Many people work when they wonder that where they went wrong because we have ignored one of the most important topic, which is interlining. If UPS is a garland and every flower is a subject, the thread that connects all the flowers is economy. If you look at carefully, without economy, you can't learn any other subject comprehensively. You can't. You take it from me. I've been a civil servant, I've been a faculty, so I'm telling you. Apart from this, I also teach geography, I also teach environment ecology, I teach internal security. So we know what exactly we mean it. So without economy, it's almost difficult for us to crack it. Fine. Yeah. Collaborate with fellow aspirants. Not राजेंद्र नगर में, मुखर्जी नगर में, पोसा रोड में, कहीं ना कहीं मिलते हैं, कहीं चाय पे अड्डे पे. Meet, talk to them, collaborate with them, and experts within and outside the institute, not necessarily institute, even outside. If you meet someone who has knowledge kind of a thing, then please discuss of your circle or foster cross-functional knowledge sharing. Well, one particular faculty might have discussed some topic today, and your faculty discussed one topic today. If both are done economy, come on, share your notes. Nothing, no harm in it. Because nobody can change the definition of GDP, nor nobody can change the definition of gross value addition, or nobody can change anything for that matter. Today in the class, Jayaprakash talking about 51 children are born per minute in the country. So, cross-check, go. This helps. Then you can understand what is the decadal population growth rate, average annual exponential growth rate. Then one of your classmates, average annual exponential growth rates, we discussed in population economics. The formula for the f of 2 is equal to a b to the power of t. So we can. F of t is equal to a b to the power of t is the formula for population calculation. Write it down, learn it. That helps you better. That makes you one step ahead of your other aspirants. Yeah. So policy advocacy. When I say policy advocacy, whenever government brings policy, for example, fiscal policy, monetary policy, cyclical policies, a lot of policies that the government, supply side economics. Now we are not going anymore with the demand side. We are not more into Keynesian now. Nirmala Sitharaman is more towards supply side economics now. She is more focusing on production power. We are going to Make in India project. We are focusing more on production than supply than demand. Because they know that demand invariably picks up. It actually was reverse to Keynes. All that we have been following Keynesian policy, but not anymore now. We are doing the reverse of it. So what exactly the government trying to say? So we talk about it. Still, we are doing the subsidy system. So we are following the Marshall's welfare policy. Still, we are talking about the money control system. So we can talk about that. At the same time, we can talk about why people are spending so much. If at all you take Amazon Republic Day sale or Amazon New Year sale and all, how many people are able to buy the goods? Can you believe? Only on Amazon, on a single day last year, people purchased 408 crores worth of goods on a single day. And we talk about poverty in this country. So is it real? We talk about unemployment. We talk about inflation. We talk about luxury goods. Recently in Hyderabad, there was a movie released, Pushpa 2. 12,000 rupees per ticket. And also mother and the son and all that happened. But people do have money to spend on one movie, one ticket. Think about it. You'll understand what exactly is the scenario there. How top brands are selling in the country. On one hand, the petrol price is increasing. Other hand, number of two-wheelers and four-wheelers are also increasing. Why this paradox? Discuss. You'll become more knowledgeable. You understand the real economic picture, the scenario. Clear? Advise and discuss on economic matters. That's what I was telling you. Different matters. Providing well-reasoned insights and recommended based on rigorous analysis. Now I have to give you a number of 4 or 5 topics. Discuss all this with your classmates, experts, groups. What exactly is this? Why Indian economy is different when the world economy is concerned? So all this will help you become a better civil aspirant as far as economy is concerned. So these are the inputs that I thought sharing with you. Now I'll go to the topics, each of it. Yeah. The most important topics for economy for UPSC. So the topics which I thought will help you become a master in economics. And in economy as far as UPSC is concerned. 1 minute, थोड़ा पानी पी लूंगा. तब से बोले जा रहा हूँ यार. I am an old man, but I'm strong. Check. So what are the topics? Understanding economic growth and economic development. So many people are confused. Can anyone give me 1 or 2 words? Megha? Miss Megha. A difference between economic growth and economic development. 1 or 2 words, not long answers. Can you?
So growth basically deals with the production we have in a particular economy, while the development deals with the standard of living of a person.
For example, if I were to ask you this question in UPSC interview.
The quality and quantity change.
Who said
Quality
it?
change.
Who, beta? Sunil. Sunil.
Sir Kushagra.
Kushagra, where are you, beta?
Sir, I am in Delhi itself right now.
Okay. That's a beautiful answer. Growth is quantitative. In other words, what Kushagra is saying is numbers. We talk about numbers. So GDP growth, 7.3%, 7.2%, 6.8%. Quantity. Whereas economic development is the qualitative. The quality of life. In other words, I can quote my guru, Michael Todaro, and call it as the self-esteem of the person living in a society. इस समाज में रहते हुए एक इंसान की आत्मसम्मान की बात होती है. We all have to live with self-esteem. We have to live our respect, self-respect, self-esteem. Very well done, Kushagra. Otherwise, also Ms. Megha gave a good answer, the production numbers and all. But anyway, that should have been a very better answer, very good answer. Very well done, Kushagra. Very well done. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Did you thank me, beta?
Yes, sir.
What for?
For kind appreciation.
When was the last time you thanked your mother, beta? When your mother served you food, did you thank her?
No, sir.
Then why you thank me? बेटा माँ खाना देती है, गुरु ज्ञान देते हैं, दोनों बस एक ही है. हमें थैंक करने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं बेटा. Keep it up.
Yes.
कोई आवश्यकता नहीं बेटा थैंक देने के लिए. हम गुरु है, हम जानते हैं. बढ़िया बेटा, बढ़िया आंसर दिया आपने. Very good. So difference between growth and development. So here understanding growth, understanding difference. What exactly what Kushagra was telling us, that what is the growth and what is development. Then indicators of development. Indicators of economic development are, for example, Human Development Index. 1990, when United Nations Development Programme wanted to give us what have we achieved in about 45, 50 years. Because 10 years from now, 1990, we would have been in the new millennium. So what exactly India developed, or the world developed? So the world wanted to take a stock of the situation. So we failed miserably. The very purpose of United Nations was to foster peace in the world has failed miserably. Now, if I go one step ahead and say that UN remained the backyard of US, it's not an exaggeration. US itself was involved in wars with Vietnam, Kuwait, Iraq, and all this. The very idea of Winston Churchill or UNO saying that Second World War was a war to end all wars was a misnomer, was a ridiculous statement. After many wars took place, China aggression, India, Pakistan, 3 times. 2 times, at least 1990, we had 2 times, 3 times wars. 1947, 1965, 1971. Vietnam War, then Korean War, then internal strifes of Yugoslavia, then Serbia, Herzegovina, and other countries. The Cold War, whatnot. But UN failed miserably. But to take the stock of the situation, it wanted to give itself a better picture. How as the human beings have we developed? Then it asked a report by one of the development economists those days, a Pakistani economist, Mahbub al-Haq, in 1990. He was asked to prepare a report. The Human Development Report was prepared in 1990. So it was more about economic development than the growth. We talked about education, we talked about life expectancy, then he talked about gender empowerment measures, he talked about gender development related growth, many factors, technology achievement index, and many factors have been reported and all. Then we talked about human poverty index. Again, we failed because it indicates only a few aspects of poverty. Then we got multi-dimensional poverty index. And by 2000, we realized that even the Human Development Index was not comprehensive. So we came with Millennium Development Goals. That was the target for 2015. Again, I don't mind saying this, that as far as I am concerned, my metrics are concerned, MDG was a failure. Millennium Development Goals were failure. But fine, I take this stand. So UN once again came with Sustainable Development Goals. So a lot of factors are working on it. Again, we talk about environmental part, sustainability, we talk about carbon footprint, we talk about ozone layer depletion, we talk about greenhouse gases. We want to live a better life, a better water, better hygiene, better surroundings. So the indicators of economic development are huge and wide, apart from only poverty, unemployment, and inflation. So I use a word called self-esteem of a person. Is a common person able to live with self-esteem? Is a woman in the country living with self-esteem? Every 4 minutes, one girl child is being assaulted in the country. I don't know when we forgot that every woman is equally human. When a woman is only treated as an object. We know Nirbhaya then happened in Disha in Hyderabad, a veterinary surgeon almost every day, every 4 minutes. In Hyderabad, and a small 4-year-old girl child, 4-year-old girl child was sexually assaulted by the bus driver. A bus driver. That was the last stop. So if you talk about a girl's way of dressing was the provocative part, then 4-year-old girl in a school uniform was hardly provocative. 70-year-old Mataji was hardly provocative in a sari. Even she was not spared. So we talk about economic development without giving the importance of the humanity aspect of it. That's why I said the economy is a huge subject. It's an umbrella, not just one inflation or talk about numbers. No, it's a development. जनता की कल्याण की बात करते भाई हम लोग, कोई एक बात नहीं कि भाई हम लोग ऐसे करें कि भाई नंबर बता दें उनके, नहीं। कोई आर्थिक वृद्धि दर बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकती बेटा, ये तो शून्य मात्र नंबर, जस्ट नंबर नहीं है. It's a mistake. They're going to grill you on this in interviews. Anyway, your answers also are to be sharper in this aspect, but you are giving a hint of it, not right all the social aspect of it, but in that. Role of economic growth in development. Again, this is plays an important role because sustainable growth is development. So we are giving an opportunity to earn, but at the same time, are we giving the opportunity to spend that? If I increase the rural wages, all right, I do it. Sir, the agriculture wage was 500, I made it 400 rupees, I made it 500 now. Very good. The index for agricultural labor, the consumer price index for agricultural labor is the lowest of all. I made it from 400 to 500 rupees. Very good. But where is the opportunity for that person to spend that money? Now, a lady is earning 500 rupees per day. Can she send her child to the school? Where are the schools in rural areas? Where can she afford treatment or medicine for her family members? Again, we'll come back to the equitable distribution here. So, role of economic growth in development. That's the aspect we will be taking care. Yeah. National income accounting. National income is the production power of an economy. I'll give you 3 definitions of national income. If you have a paper and a pen, better. Otherwise, you can remember, fair enough. First is the volume of goods and commodities produced in an economy. Number 1 is volume. That is, X tons of grain, X liters of petroleum, X liters of milk. Okay. You can write X meters of cloth. So much of cloth is needed in the country. The shirt I'm wearing has about 2.4 meters of cloth, something like this. Or a sari is about 6 meters or some 5 meters of cloth. Or the dress which Vishika is wearing, a suit, one salwar and one kameez should talk about 3 meters, something like this. Cloth. Or a shirt Kushagra is wearing, so possibly that much of cloth. So how much of food, how much of clothing, how much of milk, how much of petroleum, how many units of power are we able to produce in the country? The volume, number 1. Second is the flow. What you produce is at one point. What is reaching is another point. So the flow of goods. One is production power, the volume. Second is the flow. The third is the production ability of a country. How much can a country produce? How much land can we grow wheat? In how much land can we grow cotton? In how much land can we grow paddy? In how many how many mines do we have coal? Jharia, how much tons of coal? In Raniganj, how many tons of coal? In Singareni, how much of it? In Khetri, how many tons of copper? Yeah. So how much of mica? So this you can take how much of that particular production power. When you go for accounting, there is a bookkeeping in an economy. In a country, the bookkeeping part, how you write accounts. So what is produced? What is consumed? For that, you have taken accounting. For that, we need a GDP. GDP, the sum total of all final goods. Number one, all final. Final because the consumer, what all is produced can be stored as well, stocked as well. But it gets value only when the consumer is spending on it. Suppose you give me this product. When does it get value? You produce it all right. But it gets value only when I purchase it. I come to Meenakshi and said, Meenakshi, how much is this? She said, this is 1,000 rupees, sir. Then I'll give 1,000 and I consume it. What is happening when I consume it? The money is coming into the economy. That's where GDP comes in. One, the final goods. Second, it is the geographical boundary. Geographical boundary for a simple reason. There are some commodities which we produce but don't consume. There are some commodities which we consume but don't produce. We produce tea, rubber, spices. For example, Miss Meenakshi's place, Kottayam, Alpula and all, they catch a lot of fish, prawns and all. But all that we don't consume in India, we export them. We export them to Malaysia, we export them to Korea, we export them to different countries. Am I right, Miss Meenakshi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we export them. So what happens now when we export, the money comes into country. But we consume sugar, we consume edible oil, we consume petroleum. We don't produce them. What happens now? That is coming from the other country. So we have to pay for it. Either you earn money or you spend money. So you have to take the net export. Right. Then there is a government expenditure in GDP. For example, highways, government projects and all. I can't make my own road. So I need to depend on the government road. I need train. So I can't make my own train. I need to travel by train. I need a flight. So I don't have an airport on my own. So I need an airport for that. So the government expenditure. I need security. I need safety for my country. So I need a soldier at the border. And the soldier need to be paid. So GDP is the total consumption plus total investment plus total government expenditure plus net exports. So we can write GDP as C plus I plus G plus NX. That is total private and public consumption, total investment private and public, government expenditure, and last, the net exports would be the GDP. Gross national product. If you remove the depreciation from GDP, then you get net product, net domestic product. The net national product is what we used to call a factor cost. But now, 2015 onwards, we have done away with the factor cost. We are going with the GVA, gross value addition. That is, after removing the intermediate consumption, you are taking the production cost of it. What is the production cost involved in manufacturing a product? That if you remove, you get a gross value added to it. GVA, we call it. Earlier, we used to take the factor cost, GDP factor cost, GNP factor cost, and in fact, we take national income as net national product factor cost. Because we have to take the NFIA, net factor income from abroad. That is, the remittances paid minus remittances made. Remittances received, remittances paid. So we have to take that into consideration as well. Then we have export and import figures. Then there are a lot of factors are there. So you take that into consideration. That you studied all that. But net national product is the last part where we take the amount at which the country is, the real economic rate, the economic growth is the net national product. That is, it includes NFIA, it takes away depreciation, it adds up the subsidies and all that. So you take the production cost, the factor cost, then we take away the subsidy, then you add up the indirect taxes. So a lot of factors are involved in this. Then we'll come to the net national product. But now we have done away with the factor cost. We are taking the GVA. Write down GVA, gross value addition to it. Yeah, in fact, one of the main topics for UPSC, because invariably they'll ask you about the GDP. In fact, GDP is one particular area. Wherever you get confused in economy, you can come back to GDP, that will take you there. I repeat, if at all you are confused in economy in any part, come back to GDP. GDP actually encompasses the whole economy. It gives a complete picture, a comprehensive picture of economy if you can find out the GDP value. In fact, every aspect of economy, you can find it in GDP. Yeah. Then come to inflation. Inflation, as I've already told you, the general rise in the prices and also the decrease in the value of the money we hold. Right. So what causes demand pull? Cost push. There are two causes. Demand pull is when, okay, I'll put it in my own simple way. When too much money chases too few goods, it's demand pull. People have a lot of money, but the goods are very limited. What will happen? The price will go up. For example, during Corona time, March 2021, if I remember, 21st, Narendra Modi ji came on television and said, "Bhai aur behno, we are going for a Janta curfew." Then tomorrow onwards, lockdown. And people should wear a mask. 2 गज की दूरी, mask है जरूरी. So we all ran to the medical shop and everywhere to buy a mask. Actually, the mask would not cost me 2 or 3 rupees because the demand was so high that everybody wanted to buy mask. The mask supply was limited. What happened? Megha, how much did you buy your mask for?
Sir, normal 10 rupees.
10 rupees.
Yes, sir.
I bought it for N95. I bought it for 150 rupees. N95. Because, see, I can't see without my spectacles. Buddha na beta. I'm an old man, so I can't see without my spectacles. So what happens? I put a mask, it becomes hazy. वो भाप की तरह हो जाता है और वो कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता था मुझे. I could not see anything. So I heard N95. So they had an outlet here. So I paid 150 rupees for. Otherwise, it would not cost you more 20 rupees. So what happened now? The price went up. Demand pull. Cost push. Bund labor wages, MSP, floods, anything like that. Otherwise called bottleneck inflation. They're kind of different inflation that in class you can discuss in detail. The consequence of it is that it leads to poverty. It leads to unemployment. People will start dying, hunger, death. Yeah. Unemployment. Unemployment, if you want me to define it in the simplest way, a person who is actively searching for a work and is unable to find work. I don't want to work. I don't want to search for work. I don't want to work. Then I'm not unemployed. I'm searching for work and I'm unable to find work. Then I'm unemployed. This is one of the indicators for economy. In fact, there are two indicators. Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 has been amended many times. Under Section 45ZB, the Parliament has given a dual mandate to RBI. It said in 45ZB, dual mandate means control inflation, control unemployment. I think two tasks have been given. One, control inflation, nothing more than 4%, with plus or minus 2%. That means you can go up to 2% or you can go up to 6%. Generally, we measure it 5%, but I call it 4%. I personally believe that 4% is a very good rate for unemployment and inflation. Also unemployment also. These two, RBI always keeps monitoring through Monetary Policy Committee. Similarly, Ministry of Finance also does the expansionary fiscal policy and contractionary fiscal policy. Again, they also do the same thing. Both RBI and Ministry of Finance try to manipulate to control inflation and unemployment. There are two metrics. I mentioned about econometrics. The metrics are here, the measurements are how to control these two. Right? Fiscal policy for economic stability. Then we'll come to the word fiscal. Fiscus, F-I-S-K-U-S. The word fiscus. It's not an acronym, like many people tell us, no, it's a word by itself. The word fiscal comes from the word fiscus. F-I-S-K-U-S, fiscus. Fiscus means money basket. A basket full of money. एक टोकरी भर के पैसे बेटा, इतने सारा धन. You call it 265 and 2661, I don't mind. Consolidated Fund of India, pirate it, it's okay with me. So this money, the government has to distribute. Raja ki kosh. A big basket full of money. This money, the government has to distribute. So how does the government distribute? How is the government going to give money to us? It can't give directly. So what it does through two methods. One is revenue expenditure, the other is capital expenditure. Revenue expenditure is salaries, subsidies, interest, and all that. Second is the capital expenditure, highways, roadways, ports, railways, airports, bridges, housing, schools, hospitals. This expenditure. It is infrastructure basically. So government in the fiscal policy for economic stability. So what does government do? It tries to put in money. For example, it is making a highway. From Delhi to Chandigarh. One expressway is being laid. Very good. So who are all benefited? Cement companies benefited because cement is needed for roads, highways and all. Cement company will employ more people. Cement mining, that is limestone, gypsum, they get benefited. Now coming to the road contractor will benefit because he'll employ more people. These employees will benefit. At the end of the day, they'll get 500 rupees. Now all the people who earn wages and salaries will go back into market and spend on rice, dal, oil, tamarind, mirchi, tomato, potato, and all. So money is coming back into economy. The way government increases the demand by putting money in the hands of the people. But that way it is through expenditure. Right. So for economic stability, the fiscal policy is used. Government has only two ways. One is expenditure, the other is taxes. Government of India cannot do beyond that. But RBI has the interest part of it. So monetary policy thereby is the Bank of India, Vittya Yojana hai ye. Here RBI lends money to commercial banks. The rate at which it charges is repo rate. Repo is again the government security. The government gives security for its projects. When government gives a guarantee, a bond, a document, you can call it. A trade, a fund. Then these commercial banks will go and buy that government security to the market. When RBI says, okay, I'm ready to give money, the bank will go to RBI and say, sir, I want 2,000 crore rupees, 5,000 crore rupees, 10,000 crore rupees. Okay, let me put a simple example. Larsen Toubro or GMR or GVK or Tata projects, somebody has a huge contract. For example, they want to develop Hyderabad Metro. New metro has been developed. Or we have a new metro to Noida. So Noida Metro, a new Noida airport is being constructed. One of the largest in Asia. So very good project. So what happened now? Some comment. Yeah, bureaucrats. Yeah, repurchase. Absolutely better. Kushagra. Repurchase rate is repo rate. Yeah. So what happened now? Here, the government project, the government gives funds to them. For to fund, they need money. So it gives the government security, the bond. Banks will purchase this government security and give it to RBI as a collateral, as a security. RBI will leave money, so money will come into bank. Banks will lend that money to the customers. Customers will start the development fund, development works. For example, Adani got a project. So Adani will start working on that. So a lot of stakeholders in the airport construction, highway construction and all will get a lot of business. So that money will ultimately come down to employees, workers, wages. This money will again come into economy. So they start buying goods. So demand picks up. When demand is picking up, supply is trying to match. To supply, production increases. So this is how it's going. But on a condition, RBI says, after a stipulated date, you will come and repurchase the security you are given to me. Repurchase after a particular date. For example, it can be 91 days, it can be 120, it can be 180 days, something like this. So this particular, within 1 year, you have to buy back the security. So repurchase, repo, repurchase. Reverse repo is that when commercial banks lend money to RBI or RBI borrows money from commercial banks. If banks are sitting with a lot of liquidity, cash with them, then they start lending. If they start lending more, it will lead to deflation kind of a thing. So what happened now? RBI doesn't want more money liquidity in the market. What happened? RBI will take away that money from the commercial banks. That is reverse repo. So monetary policy is about interest rates. Every 2 months, Reserve Bank of India will give a MPC meeting. I think December 6th, we saw RBI gave repo rate 6.5% and all. So it remained unchanged. That means it is stable now. Inflation is under control. So we can learn that about it. Then international trade. International trade, we know that the dollar price, when compared to dollar price, Indian rupee, how it is faring. But many people are trying to scare us that, the rupee is falling and all. No, it's not rupee falling. It is dollar strengthening. Please correct yourself. ये लोग ऐसे बात नहीं कर सकते बेटा. ये अखबार वाले ऐसे होते हैं जो कुछ भी बोल देते हैं. They speak whatever they want to. It's not rupee falling. Rupee is faring well when compared to other currencies. With euro, GBP, yen, other currencies, we are performing much better. Only dollar is strengthening because it increased the Fed rate. Something like your repo rate. Because the oil prices and the US is the most favorable destination. So that's the only reason. Otherwise, it's not 85 rupees and all. Let it be 85, no problem. As long as we are fundamentally strong. Yeah. We're not worried about, unduly worried about these things. So when you read any economic item, make sure that you know exactly what it means. For that's why I told you economic knowledge. Yeah. Yeah. International trade and economy. International trade, we know how it functions. IMF, what is special drawing rights. Then what is the World Bank doing? What is the World Bank lending is all about? What is IBRD? What is International Finance Commission? What do we do? What is the International Development Agency? What is the Asian Development Bank doing? All this we can follow in a systematic approach. But yes, international finance is one of the important part for your UPSC preparation, especially IMF, World Bank Group. There's nothing like World Bank actually. It's World Bank Group. It's a 5 organizations together. It's called World Bank. IBRD, IFC, IDA, MAGA, and other things. So there are 5 organizations. Then World Bank, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, is a group of countries together. I mean, they both, IBRD and IMF are started together as the Bretton Woods twins. When Franklin Roosevelt initiated the process, IMF is trying to do with a real, I mean, actually it's trying to bring about a semblance in the international finance. There are 2 terms you need to learn, are real effective exchange rate and nominal effective exchange rate, and also the rupee devaluation depreciation. For that, you need to understand 2 terms. One is the fixed rate, another is the floating rate. 2 terms here. I'm rushing up because I'm just giving an idea of how to prepare, what are the important terms and all. Otherwise, each topic would take at least a few hours. I'm telling you, only IMF I will take around 2.5 hours to explain. I'm just giving you a basic idea that you need to where to prepare about it. When discussing IMF, you do SDR, special drawing rights. It's a quota actually, a quota given to every country, every member country, and how it fares with it. Whether SDR can be a new international currency, with that possibly we can look at it. And also nowadays we talk about REER. Yesterday it was in the newspaper. Really effective exchange rate and nominal effective exchange rate, near and rear end kind of a thing that you can focus on. Then yeah, coming to the international money, when I compare with other countries, there are 2 things. One is fixed rate, other is floating rate. Fixed rate is particular rate, irrespective of the growth or fall, you have to buy the same price. For example, India has to import petroleum from, let's say, Saudi or Iraq or Kuwait, any country, or Venezuela for that matter. So they'll take all OPEC countries are a cartel, so they take only on in dollar, US dollars. So what happened now? You have to buy US dollars for importing petroleum. Because what all the petroleum that we produce is only 27%. Sorry, 23%. All the petroleum indigenous. In India, we produce only 23%. 67% we have to import from other countries. Now, what happens now? When you have to import petroleum, you have to borrow it from other countries. So you have to buy the dollar because the seller would only insist on dollars. So for that, you have to purchase dollar. So every day you go to market and they look at the price and all. You don't want to enter a contract with a trader. Then I want to buy this many dollars every day. So without the price negotiation, you fix a particular rate. For example, you say 80 rupees. It's fixed. Now it is 79, you lose. 81, you benefit. That's one thing. But India started losing in a fixed rate. Then we went for partially fixed rate. Then we came floating rate. 1991 onwards, we went on the floating, complete floating. Yeah, when you reduce the value of your currency, when with a fixed rate, it's called depreciation. Or it is devaluation. The 2 terms. Again, I'm telling you a very, very vague and very just casual explanation. I'm not trying to even define it. I'm just giving an idea where you need to focus on. So that particular area you need to focus on. International trade is again one question from prelims, and also in the mains part, it plays an important role because you understand how India fares with other countries. If IMF is saying that India is performing better, it's not out of blue, it's telling it. It has its own fundamental areas where India is performing well. And as far as exports are concerned, as we are exporting rice, we are exporting petroleum products, we are exporting software, tea, spices, rubber, many things. So we are doing a much better job when compared to earlier part. But still, we are importing a lot as well. So coming to the inclusive growth, the last part, which has been rather more, I call it a trend with UPSC. Last 3-4 years, it has been asking questions on inclusive growth, not directly, but a lot of questions have come whether there is inclusive growth in economy, especially rural inclusive growth. About 15 days back, I gave a talk in SRCC, Sri Ram College of Commerce. Much more students of your age, around 240 plus students were there in the session. And my talk was about the rural inclusive. So what exactly really picked up this momentum? But is the rural development in India a real issue, or is it really developed? But to look at the statistics, the data I told you, rural India hasn't developed at all. In real terms, for example, education-wise, or health-wise, hygiene-wise, or infrastructure. So what all the growth indicators you take, rural India is lagging behind. So much need to be done. So UPSC, in the government of India, wants a UPSC aspirant to understand the real area of development happening. At no point of time try to take me from a political angle, because I'm never a political enthusiast. But last 4 or 5 years, the government of India has been focusing on inclusive growth. So I want you to focus on inclusive growth in your notes, in your preparation, almost on a daily basis. Whenever you study economy or economic growth or economic development, please make sure that are we taking our rural brothers and sisters with us, the tribals with us? Is it equitable, really growth we have seen in the country? If not, then why? In elections, we get more number of votes from rural areas. And the politician says it's very easy to buy rural votes because the number of voting is very high in rural areas. But unlike the urban areas, all right, you can discount it with urban indifference. It's just another holiday for us. If you look at Bengaluru never votes more than 30 to 35%. Even Hyderabad doesn't vote much. Every urban area will not vote much. Hardly it reaches 40, 45%. But majority of voting happens in rural areas because they reflect the reality. They reflect their requirements. They talk about infrastructure, they talk about schools, they talk about hospitals for them. So a lot of scope for a UPSC aspirant to understand the real India if you talk about inclusive growth. मेरी सिर्फ ये विनती है आप बच्चों से, बेटा आप यदि आप ग्रामीण या आदिवासी की अगर तरक्की की बात करते हैं, विकास की बात करते हैं, उनकी जन कल्याण की बात करते हैं, मैं थोड़ी जानबूझ के हिंदी बोलना चाहता हूँ थोड़ी देर के लिए ताकि आपको भी समझ में आए कि भाई मैं हिंदी भी बोल सकता हूँ। ऐसा कि नहीं भाई मैं बिल्कुल हिंदी नहीं बोलूंगा, आप भी विश्वास रखिए कि मैं आपको हिंदी में भी पढ़ा सकता हूँ, हर विषय की परिभाषा तक समझा सकता हूँ। This means actually you need to excuse me for a minute. I need to talk in Hindi so that.
Yes, sir, sure, sir.
எனக்கு மலையாளம் அறியலம்மா இந்த மூளை बट यही तो बात है बेटा। हम लोग जब आदिवासी लोग या ग्रामीण प्रांत के लोग होते हैं, काफी कुछ यहाँ पर परिवर्तन होता है इनकी जिंदगी में। तो यहाँ पर आपके नोट्स जो होते हैं बेटा, आप जो लिखते हैं उसके बाद जरूर टिप्पणी कीजिएगा और बताइए इनको कि भाई भारत में जो वृद्धि दिखाया जाता है वो सिर्फ शहर या नागरिक की तरफ होती है, लेकिन ग्रामीण की ओर नहीं है। So this point you need to mention it in your essays. And the UPSC is very particular about this aspect of it. Fine. Anyone would like to add anything on this particular point? As with inclusive growth, have you observed any discrepancy anywhere? Any personal notes? Anyone would like to comment on it? Gaurav, Chandni, Akanksha, Sunil, Anshuman. Anshuman, where are you from?
So, sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So, I'm from Guwahati, Assam.
Oh, great. Anshuman, all right. Yeah. So, Anshuman, you tell me, man, you could be a better person to answer this question.
Right,
If
sir.
there is a real discrepancy or disturbance between the urban area growth and the rural growth.
So, I would like to just add a few points to whatever you have said earlier. So, actually, I was working with NRHM. So, I finished my medical degree and I didn't go for PG. I rather opted for civil services. So, when I was posted in Dima Hasao, that's a tribal area in our state itself. So what I could actually see was like, although we were, as medical practitioners, although we were equipped to do certain procedures right there at our dispensaries or whatnot, but the common trend was to refer them to the state, like the capital. So that, that emanates basically from the lack of infrastructure that is there. We were left with only basic, life-saving drugs like paracetamol for any bacterial infection. At one point, we are reading reports like how to curb on the, antibacterial resistance that is going on. And then the same with, like, after reading, we are referring the same, the antibiotics to the patients. It's like we were the biggest hypocrites. So on the health sector, that's my only experience. Like on the health sector, I think we are lagging, and we are lagging drastically, which I think due to the bureaucratic empathy, or more than that, the political empathy, we have not been able to publish it on paper. So that is one area I would like to really change.
Wonderful, wonderful, Anshuman. In fact, you reminded me of a point.
Right.
I want to add only rural, somewhere slums also face discrepancy. Absolutely right. Who is that? Who said it? Chandni, yes, they also need much life chances that help them nutrition society to manage. Absolutely, Bida. Chandni, I know when you talk about Dharavi, that's truth. But Anshumanji, when you are, I know that you are a medical practitioner,
Right,
you know a case. I've been working for an NGO.
Right, sir.
A lot of tribal areas don't have medical accessible.
Right, sir.
Have access to medical facilities and all.
Right, sir.
So malaria cases happen because they don't have hygiene and the water pools and all. So they have this malaria cases more.
Right, sir.
Yeah. So what happened here is one particular gentleman who was a cardiac patient. He never informed that he is a myocardiac infarction, something like this. We don't never know. He has a CAD.
Right, sir.
He didn't even know that he has a CAD. He only said, I have a chest pain and all. And this doctor, without even looking at the ECG or anything like that, because he didn't have any facility there. As you said, there's no infrastructure. He gave a chloroquine to that patient, and that patient died.
Right, sir.
Chloroquine is a cardiac poison.
Yes, sir. That causes atrial fibrillation, sir.
So here, had he been taken to a nearest hospital and probably would have complained of a chest pain, you would have got an ECG done. At least an MBBS doctor would have said there is a CAD, man, and they would have taken on precautionary part.
Right, sir.
Since the negligence of the local paramedical staff, or even for that matter, the governance part of it,
right, sir.
This is one area I want you to focus on. Very well done, Ms. Chandni and Ms. Anshuman. In fact, I chose the right person, though I didn't know that possibly he is a medical doctor. But very well, very good input you have given me. In fact, a lot of die for lack of ₹1 tablet, a chloroquine tablet. A Lariago, we call it. It's a DS tablet. That's not available in tribal areas.
Right, sir.
Yeah. So this is where we need to talk about the economic development. So when I talk about self-esteem, I didn't mean something else.
Right, sir.
Yeah. Every person in the country has a right to live with dignity. आत्मसम्मान के साथ जीने का एक अधिकार होता है हमें. बस इसकी we are not doing that enough. Anyway, that's about it. The other area I want you to focus on, supply side economics. Yes. Like I told you, the government has been following earlier with the Keynesian policy of demand side, creating demand. But now we went the opposite. We are creating more opportunity of the potential GDP. Potential GDP is the GDP has a potential to the actual potential, the actual power of an economy to produce. Then we are going towards more production and believe that demand will automatically pick up. Instead of creating demand then supplying, what the government is doing now, especially Nirmala Sitharamanji's policy, is that she's going more towards supply side economics. This probably in a classroom, a faculty will be able to, because it needs some graphs and all to help you, because they have to talk about average propensity to save and marginal propensity to save, the kind of a thing that would be econometrics part. Then cyclical and counter-cyclical policies. Cyclical is a cycle will always goes between expansionary, contractionary. Again, contractionary, expansionary. It keeps on going in a cycle way. But no policy for long can consistently be the same. If it continues to be there, either it will lead to inflation or deflationary part. So what happened now? You are spending more money. When there is more money in the people's hand, then the prices will go up. It will lead to inflation. To control inflation, you have to take money out of the hands of the people in the form of taxation. Either you spend more money, the government will spend more money, decrease taxes, or by increasing taxes, you will take money from the hands of the people. So this has been following the cyclical policy. Counter-cyclical, it reverses the trend now. For example, during Corona, people didn't have any employment. People did not have any opportunity to earn. So what government did? It gave away free. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. It gave away free money to people, free food to people. So that was an area where it could. The counter-cyclical, it forgot about the supply. Let's create a demand first. Now we are normal because the government followed a counter-cyclical policy. So when you come to expansionary, contractionary policy, the faculty member will be able to help you with more in this particular aspect of it. Yeah, I have 2 questions for you, which are the PYQs. I'll give you 1 minute. Before that, let me tell you a strategy for the questions in the prelims part. You all have a paper and a pen with you? Have you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good, very good. Write down top to bottom rule, RULE. RULE, rule. Yeah. Now, rule is not a rule here. It's an acronym where R stands for read, R-E-A-D. U stands for understand. L stands for locate. E stands for eliminate. Okay. Now follow rule. Read, understand, locate, eliminate. Read, understand, locate, eliminate. This is one strategy for every multiple choice question. Okay. Gaurav, all right. Yeah, the previous year question. So, not a great deal. Yeah. So I just want a strategy for it. Read carefully, understand completely, locate cautiously, eliminate confidently. Now, what happens is, read. With reference to the Indian economy, consider the following statements. All right. The question about Indian economy, he wants us to follow on the particular statement. If the inflation is too high, I read it, I understand it now. If inflation is too high, the Bank of India is likely to buy government securities. Okay? No, it's wrong. When there is a shortfall of money in your house, or when there is shortfall in the business, when there are no customers in the business, will the shopkeeper go out with the family and have a dinner? No. If there is the business is slow and down, Will the shopkeeper take his wife and buy jewelry? No, it won't. So because there is inflation, the RBI will not buy, it will sell securities. So one is wrong. I read it, I understood, I locate it now. Now I'm locating what? One is definitely wrong. It's a reverse of it. Right. In the rupees, are they like to sell dollars in the market? True. Obviously, when the rupee is depreciating, that means 80 rupees become 85, what will it do? It tries to sell the dollars so that the price is coming back to normalcy. Right. Very good. If the interest rate in the US or European were to fall, that is likely to buy dollars. Yeah. Now it is what happens when the interest rate is falling down in the US, it will sell. So because European Union or US, the interest rates are increasing or falling, then it will induce to RBI to buy dollars. True. So both 2 and 3 are correct. So answer B is correct answer. Like already 2 students have given us the answer. Very well done. So read the question carefully. Read the whole statement carefully. Understand completely. Locate. And eliminate. Once you know that one is wrong, then other 2 and 3 are correct. Then other things will automatically, once you understand, that's why your conceptual clarity is more important. If your concepts are clear, nothing can really stop you from scoring. The best you will learn is through conceptual clarity. Right. Let's go to the next question now. It's already, we are past time by 2 minutes. Yeah. Which among the following steps is most likely to be taken at the time of economic recession? All right, let's try to understand recession. Recession is when there is no economic growth for 2 or more consecutive quarters. Technically, if an economy hasn't registered growth for 2 quarters, that is for 6 months, if the economy hasn't registered any growth, then it is called recession. So what will the government do now? That means there is no growth. Fine. Cut it. Yeah, we got the answer. Gaurav. Obviously, I told you in a contract, in the expansion project, what does the government spends more money by increasing money in the projects? Natural, that's the answer. Very well done, Vikash. Gaurav, you are very sharp, man. Otherwise, also very good. Fine. That brings to the end of the session.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav. So, thank you very much for being with me or 2 hours. It was really a pleasure talking to you all. It was a wonderful session as I heard it. Any input you would like to tell me? Anything you would like to tell me? Coming
Yes.
in 2-3 days' time.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your day, but don't forget 2026, 25 is going to play a crucial role in your lives.
Right, sir.
Especially the prelims and mains and all. So
Right.
wish you all the very best. I'm
you,
with you. Don't you worry.
Yes, sir.
Any in the city and all, you can contact Mr. Mrityunjay. He will be more than happy to direct you to you. So we'll have another session like this if possible.
Sure,
We
sir.
can take from here. All right. So take
Sure,
care of
sir.
yourselves. Bye bye.
You too, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you. Bye.